Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Product Pulse. I'm Bronson Dameron, the Director of Content at Awardco, and I'm joined by the scholarly, the amazing, I'm trying to think of more adjectives, Dylan Winspear, our VP of Product. How are you, Dylan?
I'm doing very good. How are you doing, Bronson?
Good, thanks. I'm running out. I got to brush up on my dictionary.
You know what? We're kind of nearing the end of this Awardco 2.0 story. Will you need more?
Yeah.
Do I get to come back and do more of these?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all for attending today. We're really appreciative of your attendance. And we want to remind you that this is live, so you can ask questions. You can interrupt us. Pop into the chat there. I'll see that, and we can kind of have a discussion here. It'll be really nice. Okay. So today, what are we talking about, Dylan? Kind of run us through a little bit of that.
Well, today is volume 6 of our Awardco 2.0 focus. And what we're going to be talking about is our adoption dashboards. We've been queuing this one up now for some time.
Long time.
Hyping up all the pieces that have come out ahead of this one. Mm-hmm. We've talked about the new navigation.
Yep.
We've talked about feature guides. We've talked about the recognition flow, profiles, notifications. And today, how is any of that driving deeper engagement and connection among your workforce? Our adoption dashboard will give you those insights.
Yeah, this is amazing. I'm really excited about this one because your team has been pushing towards this for a really long time.
It has been a long time coming, and we've got a lot of focus right now on our reports and our insights, product and tooling. Yeah. But this adoption dashboard is really starting to bring a lot of great key insights into our managers and admins' hands.
That's great. So we've talked about those things with Awardco 2.0 and this adoption dashboard. We're going to dive into it in here in just a minute. But we want to remind you, both now and at the end of the webinar, that these features are live now. You can turn them on. You just talk to your CSM, and you can start working with them, engaging with them, giving us feedback on them. Your team has worked really hard on this, and we want to make sure that.
Can I go one more on that too?
Yeah, please.
With the future innovation that we have coming, all of it hinges on the Awardco 2.0 experience. So without turning on this 2.0 experience, you're not going to see some of the things that are coming out next.
Yeah.
There will be a kind of a deprecation of these legacy features sometime in the future. We'll get those announcements when it's appropriate. But I just want to urge and plug, all of our future innovation is going to be built on top of this Awardco 2.0 features. The migration is such a worthy use of your time.
Yeah, and it's not going to overwhelm you. We'll help you along the way.
100%.
We'll be right there with you as you migrate over. Yep. So give us a high level of why 2.0 matters, and then maybe specifically why adoption dashboards matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Obviously, we're talking a lot about setting ourselves up for the future. Mm-hmm. When we did our navigation product pulse, we talked about how the nav wouldn't have scaled for what we wanted to do in the future. If we want to have multiple product lines or multiple features or tools for different stakeholders at your company, we needed to make sure we had a navigation that was going to scale to cover that. We also had wins with branding and accessibility. All those things were included for sure.
Yeah.
But, we looked at profiles, and gathering information about those employees is going to be core to them being able to recommend or suggest new actions for your workforce.
Yeah.
We needed to build a notification system. So the moment you've got something, an action that you want your employees to take, you've got a delivery mechanism to give them that memo. And so all this tooling for Awardco 2.0 is really going to help us enable what we want to do next. And this adoption dashboard is really just kind of the final cherry on top, so that you can see if all of your work and effort is really coming to fruition.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of helps pull that all together and say, is this working?
Yeah.
What if it's not, though?
What if it's not? What do you do?
Yeah.
And what actions should you be taking? We want our adoption dashboard to be able to suggest and recommend the right steps to kind of rectify the situation that you may be in.
I love that.
Yeah.
So today you're going to get a glimpse into the Awardco side of the platform, see our engagement, because we're pretty transparent about that. We want to show you how the adoption platform, how the adoption dashboard rather, can be used. So want to give us an intro to that, and how we can dive in?
Let's go ahead and jump into it. What I ultimately want to focus on is our admins are putting so much time and attention to building, different programs or to building different initiatives to drive some sort of connection. And ultimately, without these types of metrics, how do we know if your engagement efforts are succeeding or if they're stalling?
Yeah.
And what can you do about that? So this adoption dashboard should hopefully give us some insights on how we move forward.
Cool.
Ready to jump in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So where I'm going to start in this demo is right on my home page. As you can see, this is got the navigation. It's got our fun widgets on front and center. The points to spend are all highlighted here. We've talked about that in these previous Product Pulse videos.
Yeah.
I'm going to go into the admin section. That's tap down here in the bottom left. And as you go into the admin section, you're going to see, oops, let me go and close that. We'll get to that in a second.
Little sneak peek for you there.
What you're going to see here is the homepage for an admin dashboard.
Awesome.
Found right over here in your left navigation, your dashboard experience can be now selected to say, I want to see this admin adoption dashboard. That is the view that we're currently seeing.
Cool.
So what is it? What are we looking at? We've created a couple different widgets that appear on this dashboard to give you some insights into what this dashboard could inform you of. 4 different indicators that we found to be incredibly important for this process. 1, the user login rate. Are your employees actually logging in and using the software?
That's crucial.
Incredibly, right?
Yeah.
All the work into your programs, all these budgets being distributed, people having points. I mean, if you're in HR and you've gone to finance and had the conversations about we need more money to distribute, all of that hard work kind of stalls if people are simply just not logging in.
Totally. Yeah.
So that is a great leading indicator for us, is what is our login rate? The next one is the recognitions given. How many employees are actively giving a recognition? And again, I've got this set for a time frame of the last 30 days inclusive.
Okay.
It is October 1st. So between this month, those numbers would look pretty poor because it's only going to take in October.
Yeah, if
so
it was just today.
Yeah. In fact, I think you see it in a couple of the charts.
Okay.
But this is looking at our last 30 days, and it looks like 81.8% of our employees have logged in and given a recognition in that time frame. And that's a great indicator of how is employee engagement doing. The next one on here is the recognitions received rate. So the counter of that is our recognitions going to employees.
Yeah.
Our rate is pretty high because we also have a lot of automated recognition processes, which will be included in this metric. And then the last one here is a user redemption rate. How many users are taking those points that they've given and actually redeeming it for something of their choice?
Totally. And we offer best practices of like what rates you want to shoot for, but depending on how many programs you have or what your goals are, right?
Yep.
So like, it's not just well, I don't know, is 80% good? Yeah, maybe. Like, we'll work with you on that. And we have a lot of best practices around that kind of thing. So.
I love these charts because the visuals really start to paint that story of how are things looking.
Yeah.
You can see that there's consistently 2 days that are pretty low. Those 2 days line up for the weekends. Is that a concern for me? It's not, because this data is kind of painting that story. It does look like this though. As soon as Monday rolls around, people jump in right away. And so when I had my time frame sent to this month, before realizing that it was only going to clock October 1st, I was surprised at 8 a.m. this morning, we already had 32% of our employees log in.
No way.
At 8 o'clock this morning,
That's
32%
awesome.
of employees were already logged in, and the report showed me. So again,
we may not have the exact data behind this, but why do you think that is?
Awardco employees, we drink our own champagne.
Sure.
I think it really is part of the culture of what we're doing here. You see this pretty consistently across all of these metrics. Login rates above 95%, that's incredible. But it's evidence to, I think we drink our own champagne. We have a great culture that is fueled by our employees.
And we test the product ourselves, right?
100%.
So like if your team is building something new, we'll often kind of
we're in there,
stress test it.
Yeah,
right?
we're in there,
like,
we're seeing it.
Yeah, employees are like, oh yeah, this is great. This is working. This is
sure.
It's pretty awesome. So yeah, this visual, it's
a great chart. This is a good overview. And each of the sections down below are going to talk about a little bit more of those indicators and give you some more insight about each of them. But before we move on, I want to call out this little view recommended actions button over here. This is something that we've been working on for some time now. And it's a fairly manual process. But again, when I've talked about it's going to build for the things that are coming, this is one of those things that as soon as we start getting this data, start feeding it a little bit of information, we can make smarter recommendations and prompts. So what happens when you click on this view recommended actions? You get this modal that will pop up and give you a ton of insights for actions that you could take to help spur improvements to any of those indicators that we were looking at previously. So if you would like to improve your login rate, for example, one of those first recommendations that we're going to share is, embed your existing communication tool into the Awardco into the Awardco product.
Yeah,
it's a pretty manual selection right now. Actually, that's a great idea. Let me start this one. Or I actually don't know how to do that. Let me go ahead and link out and click on the support article link. If you're to click on the support article link, we're going to pop up this window and you're right into the Awardco documentation. What type of integrations do we have available? You can read through the content and figure out how you could start to take those recommended actions and put them into process. So I really love the effort that our teams have put into this recommended actions piece.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I want to call something out as specifically with embedding into existing communication tools. So a number of years ago, I've been at Awardco for over 6 years, long time. And recognition used to just be through emails, but we integrated it with Slack, which is where most of our communication goes through. And recognitions within a month saw a 400% increase. And like 400% is unreal, like no matter what you're tracking. But how cool would that be if you're not currently using your communication tools, integrate it with Awardco and you'll see recognition spike.
Totally.
Like, it's awesome. And that's just one tiny little recommendation we have, right?
100%. And so you can go through all these different recommendations. Again, any of those indicators that you're trying to improve upon, you can see a couple of things that Awardco is doing. Recognitions received, user redemption rates, all these actions that you could take to help improve those. We've now surfaced them based on what we deem industry best practices, working with our center of excellence to identify those recommended actions. It's still a manual process to track it, but more to come on that one in the future.
And we have a comment from Jessica. This is so wildly helpful. We're glad. We think it is too.
Good. I like getting those. Again, we've got this center of excellence group here at Awardco that we've brought on within the last year. And partnering our product org with our center of excellence has brought up a lot of these great insights and actions. And the view recommended actions button here is one of those evidences of that collaboration between our COE and our product.
Yeah, we're not just giving you a platform saying go wild, like you can obviously, but we want to guide you, we want to help you. And our center of excellence is absolutely integral to that. Like, they provided so much guidance and thought leadership, which is fantastic. Cool.
So is it all right if I continue down our adoption dashboard a little bit?
Let's look at more of this.
I'm going to show you just a couple consistency things across all of these widgets.
Okay.
But I really like how our insights team has built in some slicing of the data. So again, up at the top, 97% login rate. That is fantastic. Let's see what that actually means a little bit deeper. What we're tracking is that 594 employees have logged in that time frame.
Within 30 days.
Within that 30 days inclusive, 594 employees have logged in.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure we only have like 600 employees.
Pretty close to that.
So that's your 97% rate. We're just shy of it. There's 15 people who have recently logged in for the first time. I'm going to imagine that those are new hires. We've added probably a couple dozen new hires.
Yeah, within 30 days for sure.
That seems like it represents that number correctly. And then your total logins is, you may have logged in a dozen times in the last couple weeks. Those dozen are going to be counted in this total login number.
Yeah, and that can be useful just so you can see like how often are people engaging with it. Because one-time login, great. Multiple logins, better.
100%. And then we get down to start slicing that information and see like, what does that login look like? I've already sliced this data now to look at the business unit of development. Well, business unit, it's got this little meta label in front of it.
Metadata.
Yeah.
There we go.
So one of the really powerful things that I think our insights team has enabled is allowing this user meta file to really be the core engine for the type of insights that you're gaining. If you've got your own specific columns that you want to be able to slice and dice and see that visualized, our insights and reporting tools can now do that. This business unit one is part of all of our meta information. I got meta information for department, job titles, some of our more pertinent, specific to Awardco programs. All that information is here, but this business unit one, I just wanted to call it that's coming from our meta file. And it's super powerful because now I could slice something like development and I could contrast that
let's
with
compare marketing.
Another marketing. You guys are doing fantastic.
Hey, not too bad. All right.
And if we tapped on other ones, we would see that we can start to compare different teams, or we could compare orgs. All of this scenario is based off that meta business unit, but we can now start to get insights at how are we doing across our company as departments.
And those insights can feed action, right? Because you're talking about, say, for example, your sales department may not be as engaged in the platform. They're not logging in. Well, why is that? They might be because of this, because of this. You can create an earn program, get them in there, incentivize them a little bit. Anything like it's just, we give you the tools and then it just expands a whole new horizon of recognition.
Totally does. I wanted to call out another thing while we're looking at this login metrics piece as well. You'll see this little blue hyperlink up here at the top, and it says this link to this login report. If we haven't stated this clearly enough, I want to make sure that everyone understands how our login reports, or any report actually, feeds our dashboards. What we've done is we've created those report widgets to be structured in a way that we can pull out different components of them and put them into these dashboards. But if you want to double click in and get more insights, we want you to be able to still click that login report, go over to the specific reports that you could find it in. Looks like I'm missing it. There it is.
Here we go.
See the specific report and then dive in deeper. Yeah. Once you get to that deeper level, you can start slicing it further. I've got this sliced by hashtag usages and recognitions.
Our values, yeah.
We didn't surface that in the adoption dashboard, but the ability to double click in and see those insights is going to be available on that adoption dashboard.
So great.
Yeah.
Data at your fingertips. If you're a data nerd, you've got it all.
And it's at the depth that you need it too. That's the part I really like.
That's awesome. So we're looking at here, you can get your login reports, you can filter by different things. Now, what if you want to say, have something you want to shoot for, a goal or something like that?
Oh, you're getting into some of our future things here. Okay. All right.
This is a nice little tee up for you.
A little tee up of what is coming next with our adoption features. Let's talk about that for a second. Our team has been working on something called goals. I like how I just set that up as if we created goal benchmarking.
We are the creators.
You heard
of
it here
goals.
live first. But we're trying to implement a goal setting structure into these dashboards and reports. So if you were to travel over here to the settings piece, I'm going to pop it up in another tab. There's a settings one. Monthly targets can now get toggled on. And for those 4 indicators that we were just talking about, you can set your own benchmark for what you want to consider a goal line.
Yeah.
And when you set that goal line, we just set all these to 70%. If you flip it back to the dashboard, you'll see that goal line now represented on these visualizations. So you can see it a little bit more strongly how well you're doing.
Yeah. And even though it may be, as you said, a little bit manual currently, what you can do is set that goal, and then you can go into some of those, how do I improve this? And you can say, this is complete, or this is in progress. I've tried this. I haven't tried that yet.
View
and you'll be able
actions.
to see how that's impacting, right?
Selected, that's now complete.
Yeah.
We want to track if that improved, and we can notate that on these reports and move forward.
That's awesome.
I will mention this goal line is currently only available on this year time period, but that is one of those things that will be coming here soon, as our teams are looking to integrate that into all of our visualizations.
That's great. I love it. And I mean, we're going to toot our own horn a little bit. This is Awardco's live data that you're looking at right here. So our recognition line there is pretty incredible. And we've seen the benefits of that, right? Yeah. The culture here at Awardco is unlike anything I've ever experienced. And it's because we are in the platforms, because we're recognizing each other and supporting each other and calling out good work and reinforcing those values. So.
I mean, candidly, when we were prepping for this, I saw these numbers and these metrics all above 95%, and I was thoroughly impressed myself. But I'll go back to that commentary. Awardco's culture really sticks to what we know, and we do drink our own champagne when it comes to utilizing the product and the tools that are at our convenience.
Yeah, and we want to help you experience that same thing. And so these adoption dashboards are designed to help you get that data and determine what you can do and how you can improve it. So let's talk about why this matters. There's a couple of key points that you've hit on lightly throughout this. And as we're kind of talking about these, please continue to feel free to ask questions in the chat. Or if you have a comment or anything like that you'd like us to address, or if you'd like Dylan to address it, product expert right here. But as we talk about this, we have some points that are of why adoption dashboards matter. You've got clarity, you've got insights into your data, strategy. You now have a partner with you that can say, try this. This has worked for others. Here's what you can expect. Efficiency, right? It's going to bring it all into one dashboard. Customization, future-proofing. Talk to us a little bit about some of those, particularly maybe the efficiency piece and future-proofing as we look forward.
The efficiency piece is really interesting. I'll go back to where we kind of started in this commentary. A lot of work goes into creating any sort of these HR initiatives. Any sort of these employee engagement initiatives requires a lot of setup work. And oftentimes, if we don't see any sort of engagement with it, did we accomplish what we set out to accomplish with that effort? And so I think these dashboards are going to be able to give you the insight into, when you did this, we saw login rates improve. Stop doing these other things and stick to this thing. And I think that's where you start to gain some of that efficiency. But maybe that bleeds into tracking performance and part of that strategy component as well. But future proofing, if I can lean into that one, I've teed this up dozens of times throughout these Product Pulse Awardco 2.0 volumes. There's a lot more coming next year. And so we are setting ourselves up with a foundation that is going to allow you to gain deeper insights with the next level of tooling that comes out. And when I talk about seamless integration with our current tooling, they need to complement each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just when one feature meets the next feature and we've got this gray area in between. No, they need to be seamlessly integrated. And I think we're doing that baseline correctly right now.
That's really exciting stuff, because as you do that, as your team is building that, it will just make it so much easier when a new thing comes out. You're like, cool, plug and play, here we go. And it's just going to keep improving. Right?
And it's not even just improving in your dashboard, it's improving because your rec flow also improved, because your metadata file has gotten clearer. Your insights are now giving you better recommended action. All of it is giving you a more comprehensive story.
That's awesome. So looking ahead, what are you excited about? What are some things that are coming maybe with adoption dashboards?
Yeah, we talked about the goals. So there's still more work to be done on goals.
Yeah.
Another one that we're working on right now is saved views. The idea here is very similar to what we have done on reporting. I want to create a view in which a manager is always going to be landing on. I want to create a view in which I get to set myself that I always land on. And if you start refining some of those filtering options, and you start adding some of the meta files to it, like some of that setup could take you 5-10 minutes to kind of hone it in.
Yeah.
And once you've honed it in, click that save view button. And then the next time you come in, save yourself the 10 minutes and just load that saved view. That's some of the things that are coming.
Cool.
But I'll also mention this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work right now going into focusing on the insights and reporting's sustainability, its consistency, its reliability, and its speed.
That's great.
I've heard the signal. I know the commentary that sometimes those reports are you're running into timeout errors, or you're running into bugs, or whatever the issue may be. That is first and foremost on our insights team's mind. And we've got a lot of big projects happening behind the scenes, because the truth of the matter is we are now working with data at volume that we have never seen before. And so we've had to shore up some of our behind the scenes data warehousing so that we can always surface it reliably and ensure quality with it. We want to make sure that we have a level of data trust.
Yeah.
That if you see an insight, you see a visualization, you can count on it being accurate. That is where the bulk of our insights work is happening right now.
I love that your teams are thinking of that, because a lot of times when something doesn't work as expected with any platform you're using, whether it's personal or professional, it can be very frustrating. But you're laying the groundwork, and you already have laid so much of that groundwork that data trust and that reliability is there. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the right step. Again, the whole Awardco 2.0 has been to be the foundation for what happens next. We can't move forward with any of these future projects without adequate reporting on them as well.
Yeah.
We know that. That is why we put such heavy emphasis onto our reporting tools, shoring it up now, and then ready for liftoff in the future.
That's great. I love it. So any final parting thoughts?
Final parting thoughts. I mentioned this at the beginning, Awardco 2.0, adoption, dashboards, all of it available today.
Yeah.
To turn it on, we are currently asking you to reach out to your CSM and let them handhold you through the migration. In the near future, we are going to have some tooling so that if you don't have a CSM, or if you don't want to reach out to your CSM for whatever reason, you can do that migration on your own. And that will be coming here soon as well.
That's really great. Well, I love this update. Thank you for your time, and thanks for joining us. I want to give a quick shout out to Dylan and his teams for doing all of this work. Thank you. And thanks for presenting it to us. So as Dylan mentioned, go ahead and contact your CSM. You can turn all of these on now. You can try them. You can give us feedback, and it's going to be really great. As we end here, I want to encourage you to continue to attend our Product Pulse webinars. We're going to have these regularly, and we have been for most of the year. If you'd like to see previous ones to touch on these other features of Awardco 2.0, you can get those on demand on our website. You just pop on there and you can check it out, and you can get all of those videos and see the in-depth as Dylan walks us through those. And one final call out, our Recognize Summit is coming up in November. Really excited about that. And you could hear Dylan.
I will be speaking on the main stage in November as well.
Yeah.
I hope to see everyone there. I hope I get the opportunity to meet you. If you've been attending these, please approach at Recognize Summit and say, hey, I watched all of them. And I would be glad to take your feedback.
That's great. Yeah, so please register for Recognize Summit if you haven't already. You can do that on recognizercgnz.com. So that's rcgnz.com. And thank you for attending today. We really appreciate it. And we hope you have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.